Hey everybody, thank you for tuning in to ChannelBK. My name is Brian. Welcome to a review. This one is for Death Grips Part 1 and Part 2, or I guess the full album of The Powers That Be. Death Grips is an experimental hip-hop trio band from California, and this is their newest project. Now obviously, the second part of it just came out, Jenny Death, but we got the first part last summer. So now we're here with the full project. I am going to be reviewing it in full, even though I am going to discuss each part individually and then sort of as a whole, what did I think? So here we go. Death Grips has obviously been on a huge run ever since their debut back in 2011, and ever since last summer when the first part of this new album came out, they announced that they were going to be breaking up, and ever since then we've been getting new projects, new songs. We don't know if they are going to keep going, even though they did post a Billboard article saying that they are going to probably keep making music. Who knows? They've been trolling everybody forever. But obviously, we've been able to sit with the first part of this project for a while. And now, obviously, I know everybody's seen reviews for the first part. You know, everyone's been talking about it, and we've been hearing it forever, but I am going to be talking about it a bit. One of the things that I really do like is sort of how nice the whole first part flows together. It is really short. It's only a little bit over a half an hour, but it all flows really together like it's just a full project. Like each song is there, but it has a nice flow to it. And also because huge singer, huge artist Bjork actually had her vocals sampled for the project, or she came in and did vocals and they sampled it in here. And she has a lot of prominence throughout this album, and she actually has a lot of interesting samples, like stuff like Billy Not Really, Black Quarterback, Have a Sad Come, and Big Dipper I thought were some of my favorite samplings with Bjork in it, but there's obviously other tracks on here that I like. But Big Dipper, for example, actually just uses her voice as like part of the beat, and I thought that was really cool. This album is very eerie at a lot of parts, like something like Fuck Me Out or Say Hey Kid, with MC Ride's vocals, and his delivery is really eerie and really quiet, and it's sort of creepy to listen to because sometimes the beat sort of like dissipates and there's not that much going on, but you just hear his vocals, so it feels really claustrophobic and that he's like there with you. Some of my favorite tracks on here though are Billy Not Really, as I was talking about, some of my favorite Bjork samples, as well as Black Quarterback. This is such a great track, and I love the drum breakdown. It's super heavy, super in your face, and again, this is another track that I thought the Bjork sampling was really cool and nicely placed throughout the whole entire track. Also, Fuck Me Out is a really good track, and again, this is sort of a nice driving song, but then when it gets to his like little hook to his little chorus, when he's like whispering the fuck me out, it gets really quiet and really condensed, even though there's certain things still going on. And also Have a Sad Come, that's another one of my favorite tracks. But one of the things that I was really intrigued to hear was how this part was actually gonna fare with the second part, and now that we know what the second part is, it's a big difference. Now, I think in a way there's certain things that are different. For example, it is like each song is sort of individualized, even though it does have a nice flow, but each song is much more longer, it's lengthier, and then as well of the elements that they use. For example, the first part was a little bit more electronic, a little bit more 808 sounding, and it had some interesting sampling, whereas on the second part, it's a lot more rock inspired, a lot of live instrumentation, a lot of great drum fills from Zach Hill, and also a lot of great guitar riffs and guitar chords. But we get thrown into this second part with I Break Mirrors with My Face in the United States. This song is absolutely intense. MC Ride just sounds insane on it. The way he sort of gets faster with the beat, with him saying I break mirrors in my face in the United States, the crazy hi-hats on this, I thought this was a great way to intro this album. And then we get Inanimate Sensation, which is one of the tracks released. I love this track so much. The weird revving up in the beat and just the huge drums, and it sounds like a monstrous song. And just each verse that MC Ride does, where like one verse it's just him just going nuts, and then like there's another verse where there's like the weird sort of deepening effect on his voice. I thought this was a great track. And obviously On GP, which was another track released, kind of normal. There's some nice drums, there's some nice guitars, but it's sort of like a eerie sounding songs with the riffs and sort of what MC Ride is talking about on it. The whole metaphor of the whole suicide line, it was really interesting to hear that, especially with what MC Ride was saying on the track. Psst, psst. is another one of my favorite tracks. This sort of harkens back to the first part, where there's like an interesting sort of electronic beat throughout the track, and then especially on the hook or the chorus where he's like really quiet with us and it's sort of claustrophobic, and just the way he's saying it, it reminds me a lot of Fuck Me Out. Why a Bitch Gotta Lie is another one of my favorite tracks. Just the crazy riff in that song, again harkening back to the opening track of Jenny Death, just him just, why a bitch gotta lie, why a bitch gotta lie, why a bitch gotta lie. It's just so intense. There's some weird insane chords on Turned Off, which is the third track on this album as well, and again just like every track on here has some interesting guitar leads, and like it's always interesting what they do on each track with it, because sometimes it's very just heavy and sometimes it's very warped. And also The Powers That Be, which was the self-titled track they also released like right before the album leaked, it has sort of this very eerie build up until this crazy drop, and in this build up there's like this weird winding up sound in the synths, and then it just breaks out in like the hook, and then just him going crazy. I thought this was one of my favorite tracks on the whole album. It was just him, you know, the powers that be. Oh my god, bitch. I love this. One thing I might have been disappointed on was the finale. Now, I don't know if this is sort of, as I was thinking, like a rebirth from the track name, but I thought On GP would have been a much better way to end this album. But overall, I think, even though it was a crazy beat and all that, I was disappointed of how it ended, because I thought On GP would have been a much better way to end this album. So overall, what do I think as a complete package? Even though part 1 and part 2, I have very different opinions. I love part 2, and I thought part 1 was really good. I still think as a total package this was a phenomenal album with all the interesting things that they did on each track and sort of the individual themes and sounds on each track and how they laid them out. I thought as a total package The Powers That Be was a great album. But what do you guys think? Leave some of your favorite tracks below, and which half do you like more? Also, if you like this video, please subscribe and please like. I hope you could check out other reviews on my channel and other videos I'm going to be trying to roll out soon. Thank you guys for watching and tuning into ChannelBK. Peace out, guys.